Welcome to Dantes Inferno. Yep, I'm doing it. Everyone else is too cowardly, so I might as well stand up and say to the devil, no, you will not win, and I will beat you. Just putting it out there, this is going to be, I want to say, a edited LP. There's sections in Dantes Inferno that are not as good as others. There's the Trials of St. Lucia, which is also not good. The Ass Kicker Room, oh my god, this game, it's so 2010, which is what it is. But we're gonna get through it. We're gonna go through hell. The subtitles are not on for some fucking reason. That must be the devil's doing. But let's turn that on, and we will plunge into the Inferno. So what do I mean by edited LP? I mean, there will be there's some cheap, like almost automatic fail deaths that you can barely do. In the year 1191 of our Lord, European Knights of the Third Crusade captured the city of Acre, about 30 miles from Jerusalem, under orders from King Richard, who, 3,000 civilian prisoners were detained. They were held in ransom for a holy relic once taken by Saladin. As the hot summer wore on, milk was a bad choice. Saladin dug in and refused to negotiate. Richard grew frustrated and sure of an attack, so those prisoners just waited there forever. So I beat this originally when it came out. I was quite hyped for it.
On the journey of life, I found myself in a dark forest, for the clear path was lost.
Because I lost my map, you see. So here's our resident edgelord, Dante, doing what edgelords do, which is punish themselves. So he's stitching this. It was hard to, like, it's a bad design in the sense that unless you watch this cutscene and play the game, it was hard to be like, wait, what the fuck is he doing? He's stitching this piece of cloth onto his chest like a crucifix. Because he's Dante. We're also going to do a lot of special things during this LP, like have a boob count. Maybe have a double dick count. I don't know. We're also going to absolve or punish many souls. And here's my first beef with this game, is that I hate these animated cutscenes. I think they look so cheap compared to the really gorgeous FMVs they have. I can talk over this shit because we're going to see this tons. But basically the prisoners escape. Somehow, it's unclear. Dante's staring at nothing. So what do we got here? We have light attacks. We have a dodge, and we have some heart attacks. You know, a little like Devil May Cry, a little like God of War, actually. It's ashamedly, whatever. It's a huge ripoff of God of War. I think it only does one or two things that are kind of unique to it, but even then, it's not really unique at all. What is unique is the setting. When I heard that we're going down to hell, an entire game about a level in every God of War title that we can name almost, I was like, that's pretty cool. And then when I heard it was an action game and it was done by the makers of Dead Space, I was like, okay, Dead Space. I would really rather it had been a slow-paced survival horror game in hell. How much better would that have been? Even back then in 2010, I was kind of lamenting, I'm like, because Silent Hill Shattered Memories was like fairly new, it was like 2 or 3 years old or whatever at that point. And I was like, man, the developers of Silent Hill Climax making, like, that would be cool. Have this slow-paced survival horror game. Like, imagine the types of horrors you would see in hell, but this is filtered through the eyes of Dude Bros adversarial games that were like, Dantes Inferno, man! And there's some good stuff in here. There's some crazy, fun sections. There's some really good cinematography and how they play with scale and such. That stuff is all really good. What's not good is this opening section. We're gonna get to this cutscene. So Dante just killed like 50 million people, right? Did you not see that coming? It's such a lame way for him to just die out of nowhere. And it's a lame justification for death to instantly appear.
Dante, your fate is decided. Everlasting damnation for your sins.
What?
But that's not possible.
The bishop assured us.
Come, face eternity. Soon you'll be joined by those whose lives you have
I hate this death design.
whose souls you have damned.
I think it's lame as shit. I don't know what it is.
I will not let my sins damn those dear to me.
Oh, you want to redeem yourself now that you know you're being sent to hell, huh?
I will redeem myself. Mortal, you are mine.
So death is like, I guess I have to throw down with this random soldier. Because we have to make some type of story contrivance about how Dante could possibly kill all of hell. And we do that by, well, we'll see for those that don't actually know this game. You can block. I am not going to block too often. Except for some certain situations, I don't even think you really have to do it. I think evade is usually the better option. You do have a counterattack. Beep, 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 beep. You do have a counterattack from your block, and I think I'll do that a couple times. You can level that up and such. But I'd rather just, because his dodge is really good. I think it's even slightly faster and better than Kratos's, or how that used to operate. But see, for whatever reason, we're shifted to a dimensional plane. We're no longer in Acre, which is the first weird thing of the game, I think. It's, are we in between death? Are we actually dead? It's kind of unclear. But maybe if we beat death, we're not actually dead. We're just grievously injured. RT. Yeah. Yeah. Work that shaft, Dante. So that's just a little bit of a taster, because death is, oh no, this random dude is fucking chopping me up with my own scythe. Yeah. And the fact that this death starts begging for its life is just ridiculous to me. It's just trying to get Dante over as this unstoppable badass that's doing the impossible. And while he is, he also isn't. Like, fuck him. Souls. So, souls are our XP. Upgrades are, green is our health, purple is our mana. And you have 2 skill trees. This is the thing I do like about Dantes Inferno. Unholy is moves all having to do with your scythe, so any damage coming from that. Combo attacks, launchers, things like that. They all have edgelordy names like Vile Wind and the Redeemer. Diabolic Rupture, which sounds like a really bad... If you have a Diabolic Rupture, please consult your doctor. And over here we have Holy, which we don't even have yet, actually. We have to play a little bit further in to actually gain that shit. Whatever. We're busy killing death here. Here's another one of those gorgeous FMVs that I always think are harshly contrasting against those animated cutscenes.
Holy had nothing to do with it.
Dante is voiced by...
After 3 years of the cold hatred with which that savage war fed itself, I longed for the warmth of my devoted Beatrice.
He loves his girl Beatrice. They're going steady.
The past, to start again.
Dante is voiced by Gray McTavish, who played Dracula in Netflix's Castlevania. He's a great voice actor. Gives it socks. Dante, that should be your first clue.
No.
That's a metal way to die. And while we don't explicitly say it's one of the fractured pieces of narrative of Dante's Inferno, that was actually Dante's dad that was dead on the floor, but you wouldn't really know that, would you? And here's our first booby count. Daisy, thank you very much for covering that up in whatever way you deem possible. she had on that Sephora lip gloss. What's this? A fart escaping from her mouth?
I told him you would come for me.
Ghost titties? So instantly the fucking devil is already here claiming Beatrice. It's so ludicrous how fast-paced and Michael Bay-y this is.
Beatrice!
I have to go with him, my love. I gave my word.
And the devil is just like Noob Sabat, I guess. So we're gonna get to another really weird part. Beatrice! We're just happen to be at this random graveyard and zombies just start appearing. It's unclear why they're doing that. Maybe because the devil showed up. Alright, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So that was grab. Any low-level enemies like that, they'll usually just die, but low-level enemies stop appearing after a while. It usually takes more damage than just a simple grab. But grab comes into play a little bit later, too. Of course, we can see these Devil May Cry flame doors just blocking the way. They're so lame. But there's our Beatrice. She has a random sword stuck in her. We have no idea, as of yet, who has done this heinous crime. As I go through my Devil May Cry shit in front of her. This is the only way to travel. So we're going to make our way up to this church, I believe. That's going to be ahead. And this is where the game really starts playing loose. So let's just break in, and when she's doing her business, Beatrice. So this is just a random church up the road, right? That's all it is. And that is all it is, I think. Yep. Titties number 2.
Why, Dante? Why did you break your promise?
I don't understand.
Yeah, neither do I, buddy. So the devil then brings her to this random church. It leaves the imprint of this cross, which just so happens...
The beast has turned me back. Help me before my pulse and veins tremble.
Oh, my nipples!
That is holy. I vow to forsake all pleasures of the flesh.
When me and Crime Tina been doing the nasty, we usually hold our crucifixes to us real close.
Because I know you will be faithful to our love.
Mercenaries of Florentina, in payment for taking the cross to reclaim the Holy Land, your immaculate father hereby absolves you of all your...
It just works like that. Yeah, it's all gone. These cutscenes move so fast and they just cut back to the gameplay, but this shot is really nice. But I guess hell and demons were right under the church. The Holy Cross is where the game actually kind of shines. This thing is super fun to use. If you level it up well enough, it's all you really need to do. You can take care of lots of enemies with just this. It's an incredible move, thank you, Jesus. Punish and absolve. So once you've grabbed an enemy, I'll just go like that. You can punish or absolve him. So these zombies clearly did something wrong. I'm not giving any context, but this is what absolving looks like. Punishing is way faster, as we all know. Absolving takes a little bit of time. And the more complicated, the bigger the enemies are, the more... And we'll see how more that gets complicated when we do it to certain foes that we find down the line. If there's flying enemies, always use the cross. Oh, Jesus, Jesus! Watch out! There you go. So was hell just underneath this church? Was the presence of the devil was responsible for it? I'm not sure. Work the pole, Dante! We'll never afford that upstate mansion in Italy unless you work that pole, son. I think something comes down at us. It's hard to see it, but I think something keeps rolling at us from the far left, but I don't really remember. Let's just kill these Zambimbis. I guess this is the crypt underneath the church, but I still don't understand why hell is being ripped asunder. Is the apocalypse happening outside? like all out towards Italy or Europe in general. It's I'm not sure. So where the game really starts taking liberties with things that are happening. This is an XP fountain. If you I won't, Beatrice. And things start getting really weird once we get to this section, I think. So that's there. At least that's better than the devil doors. So these guys are kind of invisible. Using the holy power makes them visible and like hittable with your scythe. They come out of here really slowly. And that's kind of it. They're just born of fire. I'm not sure if they have a specific enemy designation, but that's kind of what they do. And the wood explodes as you expect it to.
God, what have I done?
Yeah, having to deal with the devil is not great. I believe Beatrice's deal is that Dante will never ever betray me in any shape, way, or form. So, devil, if he ever does, I'll just pledge my soul to you. If I ever die. And the devil's like, that's, I'll take that deal. Will you take that deal? She's like, I'll take that deal. Ugh. Getting a little swarmed. When you start off this game, you don't have a lot of amazing moves for like crowd clearing. They're okay. But you do unlock some really, really useful things. Yeah, when Redemption Bar is full. So that's basically your Rage of Hell of Olympus. I don't find it's too useful. It doesn't last that long even after you've leveled it up. I think against some certain enemies, like there's these big fat like Cerberus Mancubus, I want to say, from Doom type monsters, and they're a pain. So let's go down, let's work the spinal pole and face what is down in the basement of the church. Because it's really dumb. That looks like the door to the land of classic video game box art. You have to mash all the fountains. Fortunately, you do get a level up much later in the game that makes these automatic. So they made these annoying on purpose. Amazing.
Have pity on me, whatever you are.
I say that to a lot of
The
people.
lady called. I prayed for her to command me.
Beatrice.
I fear my friend has gone astray, she said.
Oh, we're just friends, eh? Boobies number 3.
May come to me. I am Beatrice, and when I am finally before my lord, I will.
I don't know why she's got the spider veins all over.
Poet, I beg you, give me strength. I will deliver her from this fate, whatever the cost.
Magic. So this is the first magic spell you get. It's actually really good. It's like this ice. It's very Key Kisk style ice slam. You know, burn knuckle, whatever you like. It's probably going to be the one I'm going to be using the most. I don't like any of the other magics. That is a magic fountain. It returns us mana, which I should be against because I'm all religious and shit. I don't know. So that's my pop-up attack. It doesn't work well a lot of the times. A lot of enemies sometimes don't have too little health to react to it, or too much and they don't get popped up, so I'll use it a bunch. Here's our first this thing. It's this asshole riding this giant beast. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of the designs in Dantes Inferno are very inconsistent. Probably because they were very inconsistent. They were done by a team of concept artists at Visceral Games. That's my magic power. I'm going to try to remember the sequence of this. I might fudge it up. No, we're good. Visceral did most of the character art, and for those, they're really bad and I hate them. We'll get to that later. Beastmaster Golden Axe! Controlling these things is like controlling a shopping cart. It's not very fun. They're super slow, as they should be. And they do have a lot of attacks, but the problem is that they throw a lot of these things at you. These little arenas with tons and tons of enemies. And when there's like 1 or 2 left, it's actually really annoying to try to kill them all. That fire breath hurt nobody, except for that guy. Wayne Barlow, who I've mentioned in previous videos and stuff. who's a concept artist that worked on Harry Potter and Hellboy, and has been making weird illustrations for a while. He did a whole bunch of awesome, I want to say kind of pictorials of Hell, his version of Hell, and it's the coolest version of Hell. And I'm sure when Visceral was looking up like Hell imagery and whatever, oh god, I forgot if you press the fire button to shoot fire and you press it again, like accidentally, that cues up another fire breath even when the first one's still going on, so you've kind of overcommitted. It's pretty annoying. So Wayne Barlow brushed Fire and Barlow's Inferno. He created this really interesting world. I've talked about the book God's Demon, which is also incredible. It's like warring factions in Hell, and they each have these like major demonic forces, and they're all vying for control in Hell. It's super awesome. He created a series of illustrations of various characters. I have one of them. They're really cool. So he was contacted to do art for this game, and a lot of his designs were too extreme. We'll get to that stuff later, but the character art, enemy art in this game, any of the stuff that's really good, that's his. Any of the stuff that's shit is Visceral's. Unfortunately. Visceral, R.I.P. So I think we've reached down to Hell proper. Through the basement of the church, we have accessed Hell. Yeah, this is the start of it. So this is going to be a good time.